Ladies and gentlemen, live from a shed somewhere in West Sussex, it's me. Hello. Are we there yet, so to speak? Let's just make sure everything's running properly before we get into all this in a big way. It's going to do one of the bagpipes. No, guys, not going to do one of the bagpipes. Let's see how things are going. Am I being received out there? Yes, it looks like it's all running. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first live stream, which we're doing on this channel, certainly recently. This is my shed. I am under lockdown, like an awful lot of you, I'm sure. The sun is sitting over West Sussex behind me, and we're hoping that the bandwidth holds up, as this isn't from our main studio, as you know. But anyway, look, this is really, really exciting. I'm delighted to see so many of you. 246 people? I haven't got 246 friends. Oh my goodness gracious me. That is a bit on the exciting side. What I thought we'd do today, if I must turn myself down a bit or I'm going to get a little bit overexcited. Here we go. Right. What we're going to do today is to have a little play, knock out a bit of music, answer some questions as we're going, all those kind of things. Yes, it is the zebra shirt. It's my lucky mascot. The zebra started many, many years ago when I was playing Playmobil with my kids, and Norman the zebra was always the kind of wide dude who would always sort of, and so it just became this zebra thing, and the zebras have followed me. Look, I don't know if you can you see the zebra carpet? I mean, what am I like? Really, honestly, it's so silly. Right. Let's press on with this. Here is my Cubase template. It's not really my template. It's just a couple of instruments I put together. What I thought I'd do is to start with. Let me do this. Is this mic peaking a bit too much? There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, that sounds more like it to me. What I'm going to do is we've got a little tune. And I thought we'd start with that and then see where it goes. I have no idea where it's going to go. It's going to be a little theme and variations thing, maybe. Something sort of uplifting, something to celebrate the victory of the human spirit and all that kind of thing, whatever. If you want to ask questions, obviously there is a perfectly nice chat bar going on down the side there, and you can ask away, and every now and again I'll stop and ask some questions. But I thought we'd just get going first of all, see how things are going. Let's see who we've got out there. Hello from the French Riviera, very nice too, yes. And Reginaldo Lopez de Oliveira from Brazil. Wow. Lots of you have bought How to Write Music. I'm really, really pleased. Thank you very much. I hope you find it useful. Do give some feedback, because we also stay in touch, because we do some live feedback sessions sometimes for How to Write Music students. So look out for that email, which will come whizzing to an inbox near you. Okay, right. There's a local hero vibe. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? I could get the old guitar out and do that. Let's just start, I don't know. Put it into record, see what happens, crash and burn. Let's just put the tune down. Okay. Maybe I do it with the, maybe I'm going to do it actually with the accompaniment as well. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's put the merge off and replace on. There we go. So let's start. Okay, let's do this properly. Let's start actually at something which vaguely resembles a bar I might like later. Here we go. Hello, Bar Zero. Hello, Guy. Very good to see you. Whoop. Get rid of you to start with. Oh, what's going on here? Pushing too many buttons at once. Right. Come on, get your act together, Guy. You see, when I do these as videos, the long-suffering editor, Hugh, just goes through and chops all this stuff out. You're stuck with it tonight, I'm afraid. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's add a little. Okay, maybe it can go through just like that first time. Then we'll add. Then we'll move into our variation. Ooh. Oh, dramatic stuff already. Oh my goodness gracious me. What's going to go there though? It's all very well doing that, guy. You can't get away with that. Okay. Brass, you alcoholic llama. Is it a surprise that the alcoholic llama suggests brass by bar 7? Too early, too soon, alcoholic llama. We got to, you got to sort of work into this. You got to kind of, I could do with a woodwind instrument. Let me find a woodwind instrument I actually like. Okay, hello Spitfire Wolf. I'm going for old friends when it comes to sounds this evening because I just want to make sure it all kind of hangs together and works. Okay, let's. You can't odds that though, can you? Okay, I think that worked. But this tonight is all about going one direction, left to right, keeping going. There is absolutely no chance that I'm going to go, do you know what? I'm not so keen on this anymore. I better save my work because if this crashes, it's going to be so embarrassing. But these things happen because this is the glory of live TV. Just like the old days. Yeah, that's where I started out as a news journalist for the BBC. Okay, let's have a look. I've got a digital audio station, my own. Reaper, yeah. Reaper's good. Lots and lots of games people use it. So the flute was doing the main theme in C, and the oboe comes in with a counter melody in the dominant, which is G. I can never resist a clarinet. Really, Guy? Yes, really, Guy. I can never resist a clarinet. I'm very fond of a solo clarinet. So hang on. Maybe we'll do that. I'm trying to find another way to put another little counter line. Okay, that's it. We're done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Go home. No. Only joking. Okay, now we're going to kick off into something. Okay. That's not good. Okay, let's try that. Hang on. I'm going to have to change the tempo. That is a shame. Yeah, but it feels like it. Doesn't it feel like it? How are we going? What do you think? Could you show use your CPU usage tab? No way I could make go more. Look, I mean, this machine is a monster. Where is it? Let me. Yes, here we go. 12%, 128 gigs of RAM. It's got 14 cores. So if it was even, it's kind of. This machine at this sort of level should be sitting there. Don't you know? Is there something there, old boy? Is somebody playing? No, it's nowhere near. I can run a 1,000-track template in VSL Ensemble Pro and Cubase all at the same time. I can't do that plus the streaming software, because the streaming software is a bit. Ooh, really? Cool, blimey! It's a bit excitable, to be absolutely honest. Right, so that's 85. So now we've got to put a little tempo market in. Where are we going to do that? We're going to go from there. Right. What am I going up to? I'm going to go more than that. I'm going to go. That'll do. Okay. That'll do. Yep, we'll go there. So we go. Those minimalists had it easy, didn't they? I just write that out, hand it in. Thanks very much. The coffee blooper is hilarious. Ah, that takes me back. Yeah, but I had hair. That's even more hilarious. People look at that sometimes and go, what? No, can't possibly be that bloke. He's got hair there. The bloke I know on the YouTube channel has no hair whatsoever. No, this is indeed. Okay, right. Concentrate guy. Right, well, what am I going to do? I need one of those. Let's see if that's good. Okay, that might work. I like that. Okay, I quite like that. Now what? Are we going to have a subtle? Are we? Very subtle. Is there such a thing as a subtle? Maybe there is. Save your work, guys. Save your work, because if it crashes, it's just going to be a sad moment for everybody, don't you think? The great celebrity snip-off. Yeah. Oh God, I was trying to remember what I remembered. I did that the other week, didn't I? Oh my God. Yeah, melody on top strings, maybe. Or do we do come from underneath? Actually. Tell you what, let me check. That's a good point, actually. What I might be better off doing, let me just move those spick out the way. What happens if I do? That's going to be better. It's going to be better because it'll give me room to come in with... I just don't know what to do next. I know what I'm going to do next. We're going to introduce a little bit of a cello thing going on here. Shall we have a chamber cello? Do you feel... Who is feeling a chamber cello? Glitching. Is it? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, as I say... Needle cowbell. Oh dear. Guy works on a PC at home and a Mac, and yet one of the reasons I went from DP was DP Digital Performer. Never used to be that great on. I mean, it came out for a PC, but it never worked very well to start with, and I decided I just didn't believe Apple really were committed to Mac Pros, and looking at the price of them now, I was right. Glitchy audio. Yes, glitches. This is look. my connection here is not. No, it's not. It's. I hear what you're saying. It's. What's I'm in a shed in the middle of the countryside and our internet speed is not quick enough. I am at the moment investigating an alternative internet way of doing it, a 4G thing, which might well be better. But for today, we're going to give this a go. Audio clipping guy, mind your PC. Yeah, okay. Am I the only one to hear the audio glitching? Oh, there's a lot of people saying that Max does. Oh, I don't think it does really. I mean, it doesn't. Look, I'm just going to press on, and it's all going to be great. And if it's not, I'm sorry. We'll do our best. It's because I forgot the bassoons. Yep. Oh yeah, I can see the quality's gone down somewhat. Look, I tell you what. Let me while this is happening. Buffer saying, yeah, it's just as I say. Unfortunately, being in the middle of the countryside, something happened to the audio of the stream. Lower quality encoding would like to help. It's as low as it goes, really. I mean, it's look. We will see how we go. Staccato. Is that how it's coming across to you? The Mac audio has been very glitchy as well. Your video is perfect. Audio not so much. Is it an issue with your mic? One of my I don't think so. Look, it looks like it all should be fine. I'm almost certain that this is a bandwidth issue. So I'm just going to press on, hope for the best, and then we'll. Audio is terrible. Oh dear, really? Look, there's not much I can do about it except for try to keep it going and see what's what. I can hardly understand what you're saying. Okay, right. Gurgling, dithering, not glitch. Oh my goodness. Right. Turning off comments isn't going to help. No, it isn't. It isn't. Audio is like having a gap around. Oh my lord. Okay, look. I will. Look, we're going to look. Look. I know there's a problem with the audio. We're just going to keep going and see. I'm not going to. Restarting probably would cause a lot of problems. Oh, inaudible. It's not the connection. The video will go bad first. Okay, what is going on? Because it's coming. It looks like it's coming out all right. Let me see if I can hear it back here. Just give me a second. Team. Keep going and see. Restarting probably would cause a lot. Okay, I can. Okay. That's very strange because when I listened on my laptop, it sounds fine, but that's going out and in. So, oh look, I'm just going to keep going because keep calm and carry on. That's all we do, isn't it? Okay, it's all right again, is it? Look, we just have to. This is oh, okay, fixed. Look, this is all bandwidth. This is all bandwidth issues. So I've got I can actually see a cell, my 4G tower from here. So I've got a 4G router and all kinds of things on order. So we're working on the on the ordinary fibre at the moment, and it's not that good down here because I am about 100 metres from Chichester Harbour, and it is very, very lovely, but you are in the middle of nowhere. And so these kind of things can be challenging. So what we're going to do is we're just going to press on, and we're going to accept the fact that every now and again it's going to go a bit wonky. Okay? Just like life, I think you'll find. Let me have a look at a couple of questions which are coming in. Ghost in the machine, yes. Relax, everyone. It isn't the BBC. It's true. The video. Okay, look. Okay, enough now. Let's get down to. Questions. There's a sort of businessy sort of question. I'd prefer to leave that for the moment and actually just concentrate on the music tonight. But we will do we probably should do a more sort of professionally orientated one at some point. Don't you have optical fiber? We do have fiber to the cabinet, but the cabinet's about 3/4 of a mile away. Anyway, look, that's neither here nor there. Look, okay, bad pipe sorted it. If only. We're just letting him know. Okay, that's fine. Look, okay, everybody, chill. We're only 17 minutes in. We got a way to go. Right, now what's going to happen here? Are we going to put some woodwind in? This is Albion. Something like that might work. Whew! That was a bit loud, sorry. It's all right. Drunk Llama or whatever your name was. We're building up to something here. I'm not sure it's very coherent, but we're spending an awful long time hanging around in the dominant. If you do a big timp roll like that, something's got to happen, doesn't it? You can't really go wap up 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 up. You know, it's got to be there. There is clearly going to be something happening after this timp roll. Hang on, let's just remind ourselves how we've got here. Let me turn the click off for a moment. Some of you really hate my click as well. Yay, brass. Yeah, I think you're right, Linda. Hanging around here in the dominant. Now, as I say, now we are definitely going to want something which sounds a bit like... Oh, what's that? That's a cello. Okay. Right, we need... I think now is time to bring in our string line. I feel a string line coming on. Oh, there we are. God, blimey. Now, what one shall we go for? It's nice to have the choice. It's nice to have the choice. Okay, legato techniques, violins 1, no, sol G, no, let's go for performance legato, violin 1. You can't really go too far wrong with that, can you? Solo piccolo? You jest, Andy Ross. Wow. Okay. Andy wants a solo piccolo. Maybe he wasn't jesting. Maybe, actually, Andy turns out to be a genius. And we're all going to go, oh, solo piccolo? Why didn't I think of that? Okay, Andy, solo piccolo it is. You want a solo piccolo? You can have one. Right, here we go. Solo piccolo, piccolo flute. Here we go. It actually, solo piccolo could work in the bit before that. Do you know what? It could work. It will only work on... I mean, if it's going to work there... I take it all back, Andy. You are a genius after all. Insert linear recording. Right. Now, where did I put... wasn't I in the process of putting something else in before I got distracted by my... I bet Andy Ross is a piccolo player. I think there's this secret society of flautists led by Alexandre Desplat, because he's always writing for about 5 or 6 flutes. So eventually, the flutes will expand to encompass the entire orchestra until there's nobody left. That's... that is their secret plan. They're coming to take over. Right. Not really. Okay, now, right, I was in the process of going... Oh, no, I wasn't. Baran. Oh, I need a click, won't I? Ah, can't even play my own tune. Okay, I'm mildly convinced. Now, when you do these big timp things, actually, you need some... This is... And Alcoholic Llama, you're right. Now is the brass moment. Now is the brass moment. It wasn't the brass moment back in bar 5. Obviously not. This is where we're going. Now, I tend, when I'm using trombones, and I'm now heading for a trombone moment, you can feel it coming, can't you? I'm going for a solo bass trombone, and that's what I'm going to make my section out of. Listen to that. It's nice and subtle. Subtle? That can't be Guy. It must be an imposter. Guy doesn't do subtle. What you want to do... More brass, says Ilya. Hello, Ilya. Nice to see you. Well, if only it did sound like The Mission by Ennio Morricone. Ooh, there was an interesting harmonic change there, which I did by mistake. I see. I could come. You could reharmonize this, and it could sound quite good. No, hang on. Let's. Okay. Let's add. Now we got it. Now I've started the ball rolling. Hang on. Now we're getting more tracks. I better save my work just in case it all starts falling over. It does sound a bit like. Well, you know, look. I tend to, if I'm doing something like this, which has every chance of going badly wrong because we're trying to do it live and all the rest of it, I'm going to stick to my home sort of ground, aren't I? Really. And sort of the sort of big lyrical thing is kind of pretty much where I come from, I suppose. I have more. I do have a lot of fun doing a lot of other stuff, though. Right, we're going to have to get now. Do I go for the symphonic ones, or I'm looking for a viola, and I'm in two minds as to what. I'm going to listen to the chamber version of the viola to start with. I like it because it's got this kind of... One of the problems with sampled orchestration, and I cannot tell you why, is that it tends to lose the inner voices. So you get a nice top line. You want your French horns now? And a rumba clave and the cowbell. I mean, honestly, what are you lot like? I mean, really. So, yeah, the inner voices do tend to get lost. So I not infrequently and a smaller section stands out more. So let me think. What are we doing? I'm just going to work. I've got to try and do some sort of. the 4-part harmony on the fly. I've heard worse by me, not by anybody else. Most sleigh bells. You lot, what are you like? Do you ever use studio strings from Spitfire? No, I haven't got those actually. I like the idea because I, like a lot of people, found the harmonica and cello. I used to play the harmonica. I learned with Larry Adler for a while. Lucky old me. Are we going to go add some with those trombones? Actually, is that not quite? Is that going to be too much? There was quite a nice little. Actually, we're doing. You mentioned East West. We're going to be doing quite a lot of. I'm going to do quite a lot of more stuff with East West, just because I used to use East West all the time, and I had East West brass, East West this, East West that, and I haven't used it for a while. So I'm getting back into it, and we're going to be doing a little competition in. I think this needs some kind of. Okay, it's sort of getting there. It's sort of. What do we think, team? Yes, he did. Larry did record the Vaughan Williams and the Malcolm Arnold, and he played Rhapsody in Blue for Gershwin in front of him on the mouth organ. What a legend. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Such a. Now, actually, you see, he comes from the wrong side of the tracks as well, because he didn't have a sort of full-blown classical education, like I do not have a fully-blown classical. I've sort of caught up over the years. But when he first played, when Larry Adler first, was it the Vaughan Williams? He got lost halfway through, and he had to make it up. He made up half of a movement because he got lost. Anyway, so there we go. Bang! All these are lots of money. They are, Tim. I know, but you know they. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I do it for a living. So it's like if you go to your, you would expect if you go to your, big main dealer that they'd have really cool tools, and it's the same. It's not that everybody, you don't need them to do everything, but St John's Leatherhead with your first recital. I went to St John's Leatherhead. Oh my lord! Hang on, what am I doing? I'm just. That was better. That's that kind of big soaring kind of thing. Doesn't the big soaring thing just make us happy? Doesn't it kind of lift the spirits and all that kind of thing? Hey, Case Music. Nice to see you. 490 people watching. I've never written music in front of 490 people. This is ridiculous. Snare drum and stuff. I've moved on to my lyrical bit. Spitfire is much. I'm just looking. Okay. Rob is downloading East West Composer Cloud. The trouble, what they don't tell you is it's going to take you an entire year to download it because it's so huge, unless you've got a super, super fast connection. Okay, excuse my noob question, man. Do you use expression or dynamics on your mod wheel when you're doing this? This mod wheel here, the one which you can just about see down there, or not see actually, is transmitting CC1. So it's part. This question came up actually in the comments the other day. It isn't expression or volume. CC1, most sample programs are designed to respond in a particular way to the mod wheel, Spitfires in particular. So they go darker. Okay. So it has to be built into the program to respond to it. But normally, the good thing is it's a combination of... It's not just volume, because when you hear that, as I push the mod wheel forward, you can hear that the timbre becomes more of a fortissimo timbre. Listen, it starts out sort of mezzo piano, then you get that bite coming in. So that's why the mod wheel's so good, because it's much more useful than just straight volume. Because if straight volume, you'd either have somebody playing very loud, turned down very quietly, or some etc. You get what I'm saying. Okay, right. Where were we? Okay. We've got to put a proper bottom in here. Let's have a counter melody in the... I could barely hear what I was playing there, and I think that, to be honest, that's a blessing in disguise. It's like there was that thing about when some cruel people took a feed from Linda McCartney when she was playing on stage and then sort of put it up on what would have passed for the internet under the time. I think that's... Oh, sorry, what's going on here? EDM goes epic. Do you think? No. We're not getting into that today. Another day. What this needs is, if it's going to get to this point in the game, we need violin 2 in octaves underneath. I'm sorry, I know! It's such a predictable, cheesy thing to do, but it works. You know? Why do people keep serving prawn cocktails? Because it works. Because people like it. Okay, so let me just put a MIDI track in now. God, blimey, is there no end to this man's versatility? Which... Okay. I am doing a certain amount of faffing about here because I'm not quite sure where I'm going next. Where am I going to go next? It sort of sounds like it needs to go... Don't be silly, girl. What's that? Absolutely weird. Okay. Yeah, it's no. It's the internet again. It's all right. Everybody calm. It'll get better again. I'll work out what comes next, and then the internet will get better, and we'll be fine. We could go up that. We could go up a minor third. You could. It's not the most original thing in the world to do. It's a nice flat key. My French horn player will like me. Okay, I'm not absolutely wedded to that, I have to say, but whoa, that's horrid. Do I believe in this? Is there an arpeggio coming? Oh, what's that coming over the hill? Is it an arpeggio? Is it arpeggio? Oh, I see. EDM goes epic is referring to the glitchy audio sometimes. Okay, yeah. Sorry. From where I'm sitting, it's not obvious all the time, you see. Anyway, do I believe in that? Do I really? What's that? What was that? I need to label things or I'll go back and I have absolutely no clue what's going on. We can't keep on putting in timp rolls, but I do feel one coming here. Yeah, there you go. Told you. Go on then, Andy. Tell me now, Andy, that you want a piccolo. Go on, tell me. I dare you. Pick up the pace. You think? Waiting for marimba. Okay. Blimey. Okay. Is this gonna get a bit? Okay, I can see where you're coming from. It's sort of nearly. It's a sort of swerved something half decent. Tell you what, let me mute the piano. Now, I tell you now, it's not glitchy audio, it's rubbish music. No, it's not rubbish. This bit is not quite working for me yet. I'm sorry. Do we need to go faster? Do you think we need to change the... Somebody said change the tempo, didn't they? Okay, let's see what happens. I will go with changing the tempo and see if that... 130 beats a minute. It's getting quicker and quicker. 135. Turn it into a chase. I know what. Okay. Okay. This could take a trailerish sort of dive if I'm not careful. Right. Welcome to Go Dark, says Ben, and save. Save what? Okay. Calm down, everybody. What am I going to go for? 8ths or 16ths? It doesn't match what I played on top, but it needs to go quicker. Okay, actually, tremolo bass strings in an ostinato pattern. How about a counter line against the horns? Yes, dark. I think it's not really gone that dark though. It's sort of, I don't know. Let's just go back to that piano again. That sounds like the weirdest piano I've ever played. That's more like a piano. Okay, it goes up there. That sounded like somebody failing their grade 1 exam. I apologise. I want to apologise from the bottom. No, you know by now I'm about as useless as it gets when it comes to playing. Okay, let's just pretend that that's not terrible. Try horn out of niente with a crescendo. Yep, we drum kit. Can you please show us how you assign your CC controls in Cubase? I've been searching the web, but I can't seem to find any answer. I don't assign the CCs in Cubase. I assign them on this keyboard in front of me. So I've got a number. Wonder if I can. Oh, okay. Let's just have a little pause here while we. Okay, I've got this thing. Hang on. This might be dangerous, but let's give it a go. We go to that one. No, we're going to go to that shot. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. Look, so I've got this stuff here, which is a platform M+, which you can program each of these little faders, and I have them. I daren't pull that too hard because it might come unstuck. And then I've got more faders here. What I do is I put CC. So I've got the CC1, CC7, CC11. CC7 is volume. CC11 is expression. Then I have 3 of them programmed to the mic positions for Spitfire, which is CC 22, 23, 24, and that works really well because then I can just go whoop and I can start messing with the mic positions before you even know it, and it can all get dead sort of funky. Anyway, Grand National. What's going on here? Is there some kind of seriously make it faster and it'll be an no, you're right. Yeah. Okay, look. Where were we? Where was I? I was about to add some trailer percussion to this because well, because I can. Because why would I not? I was about to change my clarinet. This is a very strange piece. It doesn't know what it is. Okay, let's go and find some percussion. The only way is up. Right. Hello. What am I going to go for? Strike Force. Strike Force is good. It may not be good for this, but do you know Strike Force? 1,000 drums. Oh my goodness. The question about being recorded, YouTube always records everything, and so yes, we will make it available afterwards. Now where's the... that's the one. That's better. What's going to happen? It's not quite right. Oh my goodness. It is 1,000 drums. Sorry, I thought they were joking. No, it really is 1,000 drums. You could hardly get them all in the airport. Do we like that? Hello, everyone. Epic Esquire has joined the conversation. Just at the right moment, by the sound of it, Epic Esquire. I apologise. The total lack of subtlety which has suddenly crept in is embarrassing. Well, you knew which way it was going to go. Okay, tell you what, while we're here, I'm going to bounce it out into... Oh, hang on, I must be careful, because sometimes when I do interesting things, it turns out to be... Oh, yes, just like that. Right behind... Yeah, let me move myself up. There we go. The only reason I'm doing that is so I can run that backwards and get a reverse out of it. So I bounced the audio of the drum, and now I've got a little reverse thumpy thing here. This is so silly. I think I've really lost it here. I think this has gone from sensible to cartoon. There's too much. What do we think? Oh, I think I need to play less. It's a good model for life. That's better. I think that was better. I'm not absolutely convinced by it. That's got to go earlier. That's the kind of small thing which I don't normally do when I'm doing this, because it's a bit dull watching somebody go, let's just line up this timp crescendo. Less is more applies... Was it Niels van der Rohe who's responsible for the phrase "less is more"? Personally, I completely sympathise with the sentiment, but I hate people who say because. No, I'm not. Please don't take this personally. But sometimes clients will go to you and they'll sort of touch you gently on the shoulder and go, "Less is more," as though it's some kind of amazing insight which they've just had. No, it's not an amazing insight you just had. It's an insight everybody said, and also, it's. God, yes, exactly. Arrow is correct. When it comes to the world of trailers, more is more. Yeah. My friend Jeff, who does trailer music, there's no such thing as 10. It's always 15 or whatever. It's completely silly, really. But there we go. Right. Well, I could have sworn I had some perfectly nice trombones around earlier, and I've lost them. Is this going to sound ridiculous if we play it back? Are we going to go from... Yeah, look, it starts out like an outtake from Sound of Music as they're walking up the Alps. Then it gets delicate. Yeah, quite like this contrapuntal woodwind thing going on. Do we think it's good? Do we like it? Building excitement. Oh yes, there's some building excitement going on. Yeah, I don't know what I want until I hear it. I hate that too. Do you know, I can hear how this is going to work now. It is going to work. Bassoonists. Just for the hell of it, I am going to put a bassoon in. Because we all love bassoonists, really. As you know. Waiting for E.T. to fly across the sky. Oh, yeah, well, wouldn't that be nice? And now we've gone into trailer world. Being shot down. No, that would be a horrible thing to say. Right, right. What's going on here? What was I going to add? I need some rather more forceful horns. You see, up to now I've been using French horn à deux, so we got 2 of them. But what I'm going to do now is really double down and go for. Where is it? We're going to have big horns now. 6. There is quite a big difference. Normally 6 is too much unless it's a big solo line. Okay. Okay, look, before we do this, before we do French horn of 6, they're going to be joined. They're going to be joined in this venture by... Where can I get the maximum number of bassoonists? Do you think they do maximum numbers of bassoonists? Bassoonist solo. I'm afraid. Oh no, with this contra. Here we go. I can manufacture a bassoon section which includes a contra. There we go. Look. This. Oh yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to. Yes, victory. We hear. Is this good? Oh, I'm in E flat. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, epic trailer bassoon. That's not a phrase you've ever heard in your whole life before. One day I'm going to book 6 bassoonists. And people say, is this a typo, guy? No, no, no. I want 6 bassoonists. Okay. Really? This chord progression is different, so I can't just play my tune. There's something vaguely 70s about this bit. It's, I don't know. It's almost like Rocky or something. Which way do I... what is it? It start. The chord progression's reminding me of something. Mahler. I think it's kind of more... I don't know. Okay, let's have another go. Okay, if we're going to go... Look, Guy, if you are going to do Rocky, you can't do it without bassoons. No, I'm joking. Of course you can do it without bassoons. Hang on. Should we get a trumpet in here, or is it too early? Andy is saying, no, it's never too early for a trumpet. No, it's Drunken Llama, Alcoholic Llama, who wanted trumpets in bar 4 or something ridiculous, wasn't it? Oh, how much are we doubling down on this? I mean, 6 trombones. Here's my point. Okay, 6 trombones. If you put 6 trombones up and you play them like you would normally a trombone, it sounds ridiculous. It doesn't sound bigger, is the point. It sounds thinner, I tend to think. Where's my... It doesn't quite... I don't think it sounds as good as the solo ones, to be honest. But those solo ones I've lost. I did have them in, didn't I? Do you remember? I definitely had. So, oh, maybe that's it. Oh yeah, there we go. That's bass trombone, isn't it? How could I have lost my bass trombone? This is not possible. It's not possible to lose a bass trombone. It's a very big instrument. Okay, well, did I just put? I'm getting a. Oh. Hang on. It's getting a bit loud. But also, I need what's going on? There goes Captain Stabbin. Yeah, chat break. Your audio glitches. Oh dear. Okay, thanks. I know a way to fix choppy audio. Add some lead from the Crazy Zebra. Yes, of course. Hit save. I think you're right. Thank you. Okay. I'm now going to watch the epic percussion line down the bottom and reinforce it with spiccato brass. That is a very normal thing to do and not strange at all. Oh my goodness, what have I done to my screen? It jumps around like this sometimes. Oops, that's not good. It won't go back to where it was. Oh, yes it will. There we go. Yeah, so I'm using that like a bit of sheet music. This is just not doing it for me at all. But well, you know, you don't have to like everything, guy. You see, normally I just delete it and start again. But I don't think this is the occasion to do that. Okay. How about... Really? Really? Honestly? Powering through. Well, it's to be brutally honest, this piece has lost its way. It's kind of, let's see how it runs into it. Sometimes you just need a bit of context. I'm hoping that context will tell me it's all right. I have a feeling that context won't, though. That is as much loud music as anybody needs. Somebody said, let's do quiet. Yes. I know, Magnus, it's not coming out of my end. It's the stream health. It's the bandwidth, unfortunately. But we are doing our best to get a better connection. So next time when we do one of these, we will do it with a faster connection, and you will find mysteriously that it'll all go away and it'll all sound great. But it does come and go, which sorry about that. There's not much I can do this evening, but and 7 o'clock on a Friday is probably maximum time for exactly. You see, Rob Hollander is right. What did I say? Just wait. And he's right, of course. Now, actually, somebody was suggesting a quieter section, and I agree entirely. No, I didn't click anything. It's just the... Let's just see. There you go. No, we're not going to C minor. That is a really bad idea. Oh, goodness, not F sharp. Trouble is, I quite like it. What was that all about? Well, it was quieter. Somebody said go into a quieter section. So quieter. All modal. Turn some lights on, guy. You're right. Actually, it's getting dark in here, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Trouble is, I don't have the sort of posh LED lights I have back in the main studio. Whoops! What just happened? There was some weird little... I'll tell you what, though. I've got all stripy, haven't I? Because of the frequency of the light. So we're going to go into the dark. We're going to stay in the dark. We will stay with... Right, I quite like this piano line. Just after 6 a.m. and Brian needs a drink. Don't do that. What I actually need is these. There's a what is it? Flautando patch or something like that. What have we got? What have we got going on? Do you like that? Some warm string ensemble chords might be a nice addition. West Side Story, isn't it? Maria! Oh, shut up, guy. You don't know anybody called Maria? Quite like that. I like it enough to save it. Normally, I don't really care what happens. Some people ask what happens to these pieces. Nothing is what happens to these pieces. They never get finished. I just move on and do a new one. Is that sad? Maybe it is a bit sad. Maybe I should actually put aside some time and try and do it properly. Right. Well, firstly, we clearly have a CC64 problem going on here. CC64 is the thingany-bob, sustain puddle. And if you just leave it going like that, you'll get... If you drop in, it's really easy sometimes to... That's better. Guy meets girl, it's true. Okay, now I know the patch I need here. There is, it could be Berlin, or it could be, I don't want to push my luck, because Berlin's patches are much bigger. Greetings from a fellow town by the sea. Oh, very good. It's very south of Ireland, near Cork, presumably. We also have net issues, yeah. At Virgin Media to serve yesterday. Speed was 0.39. Yeah, the harp is a VSL harp. It's the best harp ever recorded ever by anybody in any part of the world. Hang on, let me just see if I can find a Degiato or that one. Hang on, just bear with me, caller. Long dynamic bowing 2. How about that one? This one here. Is that not a nice sound? Hello, Michael. How's your day going in Pennsylvania? What chord? Oh, F. I ended up back on my F, didn't I? Something like that, but not so loud. Maybe that's what people say when they meet me. They say, something like him, but not so loud. Tell you what, that is dry as the proverbial bone, isn't it? Come on. Okay, let's add. I've managed quite well without very much reverb on any of this so far, but that's because this has been very crash bang wallop. Ooh, I think that might sound quite nice. Okay. That worked for me. I quite like that. I tell you what, I think what I should really do at this stage in the game, because we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. I've got 15 minutes left before I go back to see the rest of my family. I should answer some of your questions, because there's thousands of questions out there. Do I come from a musical family? Not really. My father was a very famous broadcaster in the United Kingdom called Cliff Michelmore. And he was on the television every evening at 6 o'clock in the evening when there was only one channel. So he was about as famous as it gets. And my mum was on the radio. And during the Second World War, she was, again, very famous. So I come from a broadcasting family, not a musical family. But you just can't hold down a musician if there's one built inside you. And that was me. So, yes. Oh, very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. I like the end. I tell you what, there's a lesson here that probably the nicest bit of this little piece we just played is the end bit, which is the most restrained. So I probably should take away. I'm always telling people what to do and then not doing it myself. And anyway, so I should let me have a quick look at one or two of these other big made. Yep. Greetings from AS down. We'll see. 38 female choir. We could have gone choir. Choir absolutely needs a virtuosic didgeridoo. I've just been spending quite a lot of time looking at didgeridoo for another project, actually. We've gone too long with that solo piccolo. Yeah. Solo piccolo is so loud in an orchestral session. That one piccolo can just blow everything else out of the water. Like Glockenspiel. Glockenspiel's the other one. Oh my lord. How loud is that? So we... modulations. Anybody knows how to view earlier chat comments? I can only see back about 10 minutes. Yes, me too. I don't know because we haven't done this before. How old are you and how would you define your journey till here? I'm 62 years old. I did English at university and I left university and worked as a journalist and went into television, and I was there on day one of breakfast television in the UK in 1983 as a young lad, and I started writing music. I'd been writing music forever, back in the days when you had a 4-track tape recorder and a Casio keyboard, and some mates who were doing corporate videos, who were camera crew from the BBC, said, yeah, did you not do you want to do a bit of music for us? And I said, yeah, of course, and they were doing a little video for something, and I did 2 minutes of music and they liked it, and the sound record. And this is that actually there is a reason for me telling you this, because actually this is how careers get built. So the sound recordist was then working on a slightly longer film, and he said, oh, I know a guy who can do the music, so I did the music for them. And then the editor on that slightly longer film was doing a wildlife film for ITV called Survival. It was a big thing back in the day. And I started doing wildlife documents because I'm passionate about wildlife and I spend all my time watching birds and all that. And so I then had this weird dual life because I was reading the news for the BBC and working as a composer largely for independent television, completely separate organisations. And I went on to do 100, 200 wildlife films. That was a big thing. I really enjoyed doing them. I worked for a lot for the BBC Natural History Unit. Then the bottom dropped out of that, and I moved into animation by pure luck. And then that was fantastic. And animation has taken me a very long way. Thank you very much indeed, Marvel. So I do work with the click, but when I went into that last section, I turned it off. Because I wanted to do the rubato rallentando thing. And it's difficult. I mean, Dario Marianelli, lovely man, frequently works without the click, but it does make it a real problem when you've got to then transcribe it, because somebody's got to... Trying to make up click tracks and things is very, very hard. It's a lot of the time, it's easier... The wheels come off when you actually have to play with real musicians, ironically. So you turn the click off so that you can put more feeling into the music, make it sound more real, but then you have to transcribe it for real musicians. You're better off, having worked out how to do that, writing the piece with a click, and then when the orchestra play it, turn the click off and they just follow the conductor, and then you can put all the rals and things in. Trying to get an orchestra to ral to a click is very difficult. They will do it, but it's you will waste a lot of time doing it. It's quite hard. Hang on, what else is going on? I certainly will. Thank you very much indeed for your thanks, indeed. When you use ensemble patches versus... when I'm doing this kind of thing, I use ensemble patches all the time, particularly for these big string things, because I just find it easier to improvise. If I'm going to play in, a chord, I want to be able to hear the whole thing. What's going on? Oh no, that's not there. I want to say, do I like that, or do I like that voicing, or do I like that voicing, or that voicing, or whatever? And once I've worked that out, then I can split it out, and that's all good. Is it your birthday, Helen? Is it your birthday? Happy birthday to Helen. Yeah, John and the team John Williams and Hans have taken the day off, but they will be back. Trust me. with some friends. I got carried away, and we've got some friends. Anyway, that's we'll get there. Anyway, if you build a PC for composing on a budget, what's the best of RAM or a beefy? You need CPU. I pay for if you're. It's easier to expand the RAM later, and it's harder to change the motherboard and upgrade the CPU. Not impossible, but difficult. So I'd go for. Well, at the moment, and I still prefer i7 computers over i9s. I've got an i9 with 18 cores, and it's no quicker than this i7 with 14. But these are mega machines. These are really huge, fast machines, so it's ridiculous. But and I've got a Xeon machine as well, and that's good. But you know, it's I would try for a sort of, I don't know, if you can get an 8-core i7, that would be a really good start. But that kind of thing. So both basically, but you can always add more RAM later. The thing to be careful about is not that it's a fairly esoteric problem, but some motherboards will go up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. Some will only go to 64, and some will go to 256 or more. So you just need to know what the top end is in case you ever get really lucky. There's lots of people building. But yes, Tim, I know what you mean about the video render, but I don't really care about video, to be honest. And I, given how much more they are, and also there was some problems because there was a Cubase problem with Windows 10 and i9s, which has now been ironed out. Anyway, look. Do you still spill coffee on my lap? Frequently, absolutely. Would you recommend as a first iMac? I loathe the idea of spending $6,000 on a computer that could die in a few years. So the answer is don't buy an iMac. I'm struggling with this because I've got a very old Mac Pro in my main studio, and Hugh, the amazing video editor, works on an elderly Mac Pro. But as you correctly say, the next step up is a $6,000 Mac. And really, I mean, and we're talking pounds. We're not talking, they're not quite the same thing as dollars yet. Just give it. Hackintosh, we've got a Hackintosh. The problem with Hackintoshes when you come to a whole digit operating system upgrade, because you have to re-hack the thing and all the rest of it. But hello from Russia, indeed. So we are transitioning. On music, it's no real big deal because Cubase runs on both Macs and PCs. So does everything except Logic, obviously. I believe DP, Digital Performer, runs really well on a PC now. I was in Los Angeles with a friend who's showed me that. Mac Mini i7, yeah, that's a possibility as well. But to be honest, you just need to bite the bullet and move on to a PC sooner or later. Because unless you're going to just keep spending more and more and more. But you do have to ask yourself, when you compare £1,000 for a monitor stand for a Mac Pro, who's taking the piss? Anyway, there's lots of stuff out there which is good, but MacBook Pro is pretty good. To be honest, the MacBook Pro is probably the best value. I know people have got iMacs, but Mac Minis, but by the time you put the RAM and the CPU in them, they're as much as anything else. Whereas, some of these mega machines which I'm talking about cost less than $5,000, £3,500, and you've got something which will run everything. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money, but if you're looking at a professional machine, that's what you go for. If you're, for £1,000, you can still get a really good PC. And it means you use Cubase or FL Studio. FL Studio is really good. I've just been making friends with the FL Studio people, and it's a fascinating. I bet there's quite a lot of you out there who use it for dance music, but it's such a different paradigm. I'm really, really getting into it. And I'm like Ableton in its way as well. I mean, Ableton, again, is a completely different... And they all run just as well on Macs and PCs, so totally off topic. Anyway, what's going on? How much have we got? Oh, we've got 5 minutes left, and then I'm going to wrap this up and move on. Claire Fisher, string arranging tutorial, please. Are there other journalists who make music as well, including? Yes, there are. Oh, really? He used to be. There's a lot of crossover between journalism and music. Actually, I constantly bump into journalists who turn out to be very competent musicians, and vice versa. Um, what? Vice versa? What? Musicians who turn out to be competent journalists? Well, yes, actually. Anyway, what else is going on here? Okay. Please, I'm just looking for any questions I might have. Oh, there's loads of questions here, isn't there? Look, we are going to wrap this up in a minute. Look, and I would say thank you for bearing with me through all the glitches and all the rest of it. And we will address the speed issue, which is what it is, as soon as we can. Yeah, you see, look, I'm getting less than a megabit at the moment. I'm getting 1 megabit, which is up, which is terrible. It was 5 or 6, and it's obviously taken a bashing. So look, we'll do our best. I hope it's been worth your while. You've hung in there for an hour and a half, most of you. We're still on 442 people. That's really, really amazing. I'm really, really flattered that you've all. Okay, shall we play the piece one more time in all its glory or lack of glory or whatever? Yes, of course we can. Right, let me just work out what I do. Yes, I put that there. Maybe get rid of me completely for a minute and go back to the beginning and play the whole thing through. Then say thank you very much. Good night. Okay, right, where are we? Here we go. Right, make sure the click's off because people hate it with the click on. Here we go.